Hi guys, welcome to my channel, or if it's not your first time, welcome back. My name is Shvon from To Kitty and Beyond. So this morning, when I woke up, I laid in bed for a little while. I've been hermiting myself lately pretty hard. I haven't left my house in a couple of days, but that's all part of the process because I'm feeling like we're going through this major energetic shift and we're coming up to an even bigger energetic shift, and so it's important to give ourselves the space and the time that we need to integrate the energies both physically, energetically, and mentally, especially if there's emotional healing going on, which there has been. So I woke up, I was lying in bed, and I had this sort of like an epiphany. It came out of nowhere. I wasn't even thinking about any of this kind of thing, and it was an image that they showed me of, okay, so I wish that I could draw so that I could draw this for you guys, but I'm going to try and explain it as best I can. So it was like every single person walking around on the earth had a bubble around them, and that bubble, what was inside the bubble, was their reality. So that all they could see was everything would be filtered through that bubble. And every other person that came into contact with them had a separate bubble that housed their reality, and they would only see things from that perspective. And so when two bubbles would merge that were not a vibrational match, that were completely different, one would get pulled into the other or they would repel. So it was almost as if, imagine somebody walking around and they've got this beautiful bubble around them and they're happy and everything in their reality is flowers and sunshine, and then there's another person who comes walking down the street and their bubble is filled with sadness and it's raining and it's cloudy and they're all wet and depressed. When those two bubbles come into contact, either the depressed person is going to say, oh, your bubble's nice, let me come in there, and then that bubble of the happy person's reality will expand to incorporate the sad person, and then that sad person, their new reality is happy. Or the sad person will step into the happy person's one and start bringing that person down, and the rain starts affecting their reality now, and they're starting to feel sad and depressed. So it's like a vibrational thing, and if the person's reality is not strong enough to resist any other reality, then your reality becomes affected. So now, on a bigger scale, what they were showing me was that so when people that have the same reality come together, so there's two people walking down the street, one of them has this sunshine, beautiful, happy rainbows, and the other person has that too. And when they meet, their reality bubble gets bigger and more powerful. And so they were showing me like a large number of people in the past have been stuck in this lower vibrational energy, this lower vibrational reality bubble, where they were only seeing things, war and devastation and destruction and pain and suffering. That was the reality that people were creating. That's the reality that they were seeing the world through, and there were so many that it became very powerful, and it became all-encompassing, where it would, anybody who had a happy one would get sucked into it, because there were so many people. But they're showing me now that what's happening is more and more people are moving into these bubbles of reality that are very positive, that are very happy, and so they're starting to grow and they're getting more powerful. And now it's only a matter of time before all of the people who are still living in the old reality bubbles of sadness and destruction and misery are going to be drawn into the more powerful energy bubbles of happiness, joy, fulfillment, and connection, and peace. Peace on earth. Literally, this can happen. This is not a fantasy. And if it is a fantasy, we can make it real, because anything we think we can create. And that's literally what they were showing me with these energy bubbles. So it's up to us to create the reality that we want for ourselves, because by doing so, we're contributing that to the collective reality. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and so I pulled a couple of cards. Oh, sorry, one sec. Sorry, I had a package come. I wasn't expecting it. Okay, so I wanted to share with you guys a little bit of a reading, just to kind of go off of that whole mentality of reality bubbles, and we're going through this big shift right now where the collective is the old paradigm, the old negative vibrational reality is starting to fall away. It's starting to break down, and this can come off as seeming chaotic. And so I'm pulling some cards today to reflect on that and to give us some insight, some clarity, and some guidance as to how we can get through this time, which is ultimately going to be very, very beneficial, but that may seem overwhelming to those that don't know what's going on. So it's really important that we share this knowledge, that we disseminate this information to the collective as much as we can. So I'm not saying share because I want more views on my video. I'm saying share because this needs to get out, because people need to be aware that they're creating their reality and they're contributing to the whole. This is not about me. This is not about you. This is about us. This is about all of us together. And we're doing this together. We're a team, you guys. It's very important. So we got from the unicorn deck, we got just be yourself. And from this card, what I'm seeing is that it's important to, it's very important to be your authentic self, your higher self, to let the programming and the illusions and the fear and the ego fall away and be your true self, your higher self, which is your God self, which is your self that is connected to the universe, that is connected to all other living beings, not just humans, but all living beings, from crystals to plants to animals, all of it. That's why we're seeing a huge rise in veganism, is because people are starting to become vibrationally aware that they are connected to animals and their suffering. And so it's very important to be yourself, to connect with this self, because the ego is what says negative things. The ego is what tries to control. The ego is what tries to bring you down. So be yourself, be that true higher self, which brings you up into that happy vibrational reality bubble. Then we got change and very soon. And I feel like these need to go together because These need to go together because there is a change coming and it's very soon. And I've talked about the event at least once on my channel, and if you're on YouTube watching all these other videos, then you've definitely heard about the event. And it's a vibrational frequency shift. We're going through a massive vibrational frequency shift in the collective, and it's divinely guided, it's divinely ordained, but we're also helping it to happen individually with our reality bubbles. Like I was talking about before, the more of us that are getting into these happy reality bubbles, the bigger they're getting, the more they're spreading across the world, and everybody's ready to step into that peace, happiness, joy, connectedness. And the best part is that that's going to start awakening us to higher levels of consciousness and higher abilities as well. So these changes are positive, and they're happening now, and they're going to be apparent very soon. So then we got, just to clarify and to sort of solidify that point, the potential gateway. So this is a potential gateway that we're going through right now. And what this means is that the gateway is here, and there's potential of probabilities that we can manifest into our reality. So that's why there's no definitive, yes, this is going to happen, because there is no future that is only one future. There are infinite probabilities and possibilities, and each timeline plays out independent of every other timeline. So it's our choice points that actually affect which timeline we anchor into this reality. So this gateway opens up for us, and then it's our responsibility and it's our free will choice that will anchor in the reality that we want. So again, with the bubble analogy, you choose which reality you live in. You choose which reality you're going to anchor into this physical world and share with others. And so this is a massive gateway right now, and it's 5-0, which is change, and 5 is change, 0 is the alpha, the omega, the void, the 0 point energy, the energy of creation. So this huge, massive change is bringing us this ability this choice point that is crucial right now. And that's why it's so, so important for us to stay high vibrational no matter what is going on in your life. Please try to stay high vibrational. You know what? Don't try, just do it. There is no try, only do. Yoda said that. I love Yoda. He's an ascended master if I ever did see one. So then we've got new experiences and possibilities. And that's exactly what I was talking about with the potential gateway, is that it's not something that is predestined to happen. I mean, it is predestined. The choice points are predestined, but we do have free will as a collective and individually. So we need to use these new experiences to the highest possible possibility, probable possibilities. Okay, so we need to pick which timeline is going to be most beneficial for us. So hold that in your mind, of peace on earth, of dissemination of information, higher information from higher beings, connection with each other and every living being on the planet, no more pollution, no more war, no more suffering, no more greed, no more money control system, no more of anything that's lower vibrational. We're getting rid of that. No more murder, no more sacrifice, no more control programming, no more fear programming, no more worry, no more stress. We want to anchor in timelines of peace, happiness, joy, connection, love, above all else, unconditional love, not just for yourself, not just for others, but for everyone and everything, knowing that we are all connected. And ultimately that stems back to you. So loving yourself is the number one priority, because you're going to raise your vibrational frequency, which is going to affect your little reality bubble, which affects everybody else's. So, and keeping it strong, keeping that vibration strong, because higher vibrational frequencies are more powerful than lower vibrational frequencies because they're going literally faster. And so, let's say, for example, that scenario on the sidewalk again. There's one person with a high vibrational reality and one with a low. The one with the high vibrational reality is much more likely to be able to pull up the one with the low vibrational reality into their higher bubble, the happy bubble. Now, if there's 2 or 3 of the negative people and one positive person, if that positive person is not really, really strong and they're practiced and they're very sure and grounded and connected, then they're liable to get pulled down. And so you see it's a numbers game. With 7.5 billion people and rising, we each make a difference. That one person, it does make a difference because it's the all of us together. You know, when they say like your vote does count. Yes, your vote does count. Your authentic self, your higher self, creating this higher possible reality does count. You're going to affect the whole. That's why we all need to take responsibility and do this now. Because we're getting storm wisdom. There's a storm coming, but the storm is going to shake up everything that is lower vibrational. So all of this stuff is going to come to the surface to be purged. It's like when you get a new face wash and they say, you know, it's very clearing, you're going to purge a bit. It's all of the stuff, all of the gunk that was under the surface of your skin comes up to the top so that it can be sloughed away, so that it can be washed away, so that you're left with clear, beautiful, glowing skin. That's what's happening to the earth right now. We're going through a big purging. We're going through a big shift, and this is bringing us wisdom, because those of us who are aware and awakened to this shift, we can stand and watch it. We can help those who are going through the trying times and only seeing chaos. We can bring them into our reality bubble and say, hey, no, it's okay. Look what's happening. It's all for the greater good. It's all for the higher divine Christed timelines. That all of this has to fall away. You can't build a nice new shiny tower on top of a crumbling foundation. You have to rip down the foundation to be able to build up something beautiful and new and much, much better. And then we got authentic voice, which goes back to what I was saying about being your authentic self, being being your higher self, finding your authentic voice and sharing that with the world. Because when you speak your truth and when you communicate that with others, you're helping to raise their frequency, their consciousness, and their realities. You're helping to affect their reality bubble in a positive or negative way. So choose wisely and be responsible with this power that you have. With great power comes great responsibility. We are all gods. We are all superheroes, and we need to use our powers responsibly for the whole, because ultimately we are the whole. We are connected to the collective consciousness. We are each other's mirrors. So it's really important that you guys find your authentic voice, whatever that is, and make sure that you're expressing it with love. That's the bottom line, is to express yourself with love. Because if you feel like you're being authentic, but it's coming off in a hateful or judgmental way, then that's not your authentic voice. That's your ego. Your authentic voice is your soul. It's your higher self, your God self, your Christ consciousness. It is always going to be expressed with love. So make sure that you keep that in mind, and check yourself before you wreck yourself, okay? Or others. Don't wreck others either. Now, through this transition, we can ask for assistance from the angels. Archangel Raphael is the angel of healing, emotional, physical, mental healing. He holds the green ray energy, so you can call on him by name, or you can call on him through the use of the green ray. And this will help to heal anything that is coming up to be purged, anything that is coming up within you or that you see around you in the collective, anything that is disorienting, painful, chaotic, destructive. We're going to call on the angels to help us get through this. We're going to call on the angels to help us heal and see the bigger picture, to see this higher perspective, and to move through this transition and this change with ease and grace to our highest capabilities. So we're going to give our cares to the worries and to the angels. We're going to give our cares and worries to the angels. They're going to take our burdens and help us to move through this with a lighter vibration. Because when you give your heavy energies, your dense negative energies to the angels, you free yourself up, and you're not burdening them, because that's their job. That's what they do. They're to be in service to humanity and to all life for assistance in raising our vibrations. And they're high enough vibrations that anything that we give to them, they immediately transmute it into a higher vibration. So it's no big deal to them, but for us it can be make or break. So ask for help from the angels, ask for help from your guides, and ask for help and connect to your higher self and to God ultimately, because all of these other things are kind of middlemen, but God, the prime creator being, the prime creator consciousness, is that definitive original angel. That is the original most powerful being, if you want to call it that, in the entire of all the universes. And it gets complicated, so I'm not going to go into that, but breathe through this transition. Okay, guys, so if you're feeling yourself getting triggered, or if you're feeling yourself being extremely emotional, or if you're feeling yourself being overwhelmed, stressed, burdened, anything like that, just take a second and breathe. Sit down if you can, breathe it out. Imagine the worry or the anxiety that you're feeling, or the pain or the fear, as a color in your body. And as you're breathing, you're taking in this clean, pure energy, and you're wrapping up the color that is representing the pain or the fear. So we'll use black, okay? Because black is a dark, it's associated with negative. Okay, so we're imagining that there's this black ball in our stomach, and I'm having anxiety over my exams or whatever it is. Breathe in the energy of source. Imagine it filling your lungs, moving down through your body, encasing the black blob, and then pulling it out and expelling it. And as you're getting it out of your system, it's breaking up into its light pieces, and then it's transmuted into light. And you can use other colors to help heal it. Again, this is Raphael, so we can use green again, and imagine that green light coming in and filling the spot where the black was, entirely cleansing it and filling it, renewing it, and charging you up so that you're able to move forward. You're able to move throughout your daily life with ease and grace, rather than being fearful or worried, anxious, stressed, burdened, anything like that. So again, we're asking the angels for assistance, and they're going to help us to release these old patterns and to awaken the energy within us that we have the ability to heal ourselves. And that's ultimately what they're helping us to realize. We have the power. We don't need to look externally for support. And what I'm saying when I'm asking us to ask for support from the angels is the angels are wanting us to awaken to our own angelic abilities. Because we are angels as well. We are earth angels, and we've come into physical bodies to remember who we are and our abilities. So there's definitely many things you can do to help yourself remain constant through the changes, to help yourself stay confident in your own powers and abilities, to help yourself remain grounded and high vibrational through these changes and purges that we're going to be seeing in the world. And another one from the angels, we got teaching and learning. Archangel Zadkiel, keep an open mind and learn new ideas, then teach these ideas to others. And I actually pulled this card before I did the reading. Before I even pulled these cards for the reading, I was pulling cards this morning just for myself, and this one came out. And so that's why I'm here on YouTube. This is my sole mission, is to communicate information to the collective, to you guys who are watching. You are here for a reason, I am here for a reason, and we are all teaching and learning from each other. So we are a collective, we're in this together, like I've said before, we're a team. And so we need to help each other out. And we all have divine missions. And so by teaching and learning and keeping an open mind and going through changes with an open mind, rather than resisting the changes, keep an open mind, and instead of looking at the problem, find the solution, because that's the quickest and fastest way to solve the problem. If there really is no problem. The problem is an illusion. It's all just a test. It's all just challenges to help us grow. And I've said this many times. I'm going to continue saying it because this is what I'm trying to teach you guys. And this is what I've learned myself. And I'm continuing to learn. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. We're all in this together, and we're all continually learning and growing infinitely. There's no end to that. Even the angels learn and grow. Even God learns and grows. That's the whole reason why he created everyone else, or he or she, no denominations there. It's just, we live in a patriarchal society, and that's what we've been conditioned to use, that terminology. Anyway, off on a tangent there. Back to the point, is that God created all life to experience him herself as other things. You know what I'm saying? So you are God consciousness experiencing yourself as not being God consciousness. You're experiencing yourself as a separate being for the experience of learning. And then ultimately we reunite back with that collective consciousness of God, and we remember why we were doing all of this in the first place. And that's when we get to integrate the learning, and then go around again if we so choose, or teach, or whatever it is, and be of service. Okay? So then from the tarot, we got the Sun, which is all about healing, plans that work out perfectly, amazing ideas that lead to rewards and commendations, gratitude for the blessings of life. So this is all, you can see this as a challenge, or you can see this as a blessing. And ultimately, all challenges are blessings, because they help us to grow. They help us to overcome our limitations if that's what we perceive them to be. So we're going to heal from this. Everything's going to be illuminated. And another thing with the Sun is that this whole change is taking place, first of all, because of the 100th monkey effect that I discussed in one of my previous videos about how we are collectively ascending, and so that information is going up into the collective, that we're individually ascending, and then that information in vast numbers is going up to the collective and being easier to understand by everybody else. And so it's, if you want to relate it to that whole bubble analogy, we can look at it as more and more people are getting into that happy bubble reality, and so it's spreading to the whole world, and that's what's happening with that event. But also, the Sun is affecting our energy. The Sun, our Sun Solaris, and the great central sun of our galaxy both send light codes to the Earth. And these light codes are photonic information that is encoded within the DNA. And this is what helps us to awaken to higher levels of consciousness. And what's happening now, and the reason why this whole big event and this whole big awakening in this new age and this golden age is being discussed and everywhere and anywhere, is the fact that we are moving as a solar system, as a celestial body, into a higher frequency location in the galaxy and in the universe. So we're coming into a higher vibrational zone, which is, we could liken it to, you know, when the Earth comes closest to the sun and it's summertime. We're coming closer to the central sun of the galaxy, and it's starting to be summertime for our consciousness. Our consciousness is being illuminated, and we're waking up. We're waking up to who we truly are, that we're not separate, that we're all one. Then we got the 10 of Summer, an emotionally fulfilling life with family or friends, raising children wisely, and people you can trust. So this is what's going to happen, and this is the 10 of 10 is completion, and summer, again, we're coming into the summer of our consciousness. We're coming into the spring and summer now. So it started in 2012, and it's continued on since then, and it, you know, it's not like an instantaneous thing. It needs to be gradual. Otherwise, you know, we would all just implode because it would be too much. So it needs to be gradual, it needs to happen slowly, but it's steadily ramping up, and the energies are ramping up, the photonic downloads are ramping up, the upgrades are coming in quicker, faster, stronger, more powerful, and we're all awakening much more at a faster rate now, which is what's the collective ascension. This is happening now. And so 10 being completion. We're coming to the end of a cycle and we're beginning a new one. This new cycle is the awakening cycle. And this is really, really powerful. It's going to be emotionally fulfilling with our family and friends, and not just our physical family and friends here, but our entire collective family. We are all one. We are all family. You, me, frickin' President Trump, everybody, we're all family. Not gonna go there. We're all family. We're all souls on a mission. We chose to be certain people. We chose to play certain roles, and for those people who chose to play bad roles, it's not any judgment against them, because we need the balance between light and dark. And so we're all soul family, and at the end of the day, we all return to that knowledge, to that consciousness that we're one, and the grass and the earth and the planets themselves, they're all alive and awake, and they're all part of our family. The aliens, the extraterrestrial beings, if you want to call them that, the angels, the higher vibrational beings, they're all our family as well. We are all a universal galactic family. Okay, guys, so you can trust this. You can trust, you know, I mean, there's still going to be discernment, because there's got to be balance, and there's still going to be lower energies and lower entities. So use your discernment and your higher self, but you can trust in God, and you can trust in the collective. And so we're going to be moving into this time now of abundance and love and unity. And so we're seeing this again with unity. The 2 of Spring, a bright future manifested through hard work and creativity, partnering with others who share your dreams. Great progress being made. Humanity is moving forward together. We are making great progress, and we are being helped by many different beings from many different places and times. We are being assisted more than you know. And those of us who are here with this message, we are messengers as well. We have come to be of assistance. We have come to aid humanity in the awakening as humans. We came here into this physical body, which is very difficult. And trust me, that it helps us to empathize, because we know how difficult it is. Because how can you help somebody to heal something that you've never experienced? So we came here, we chose to come here to understand what it was like to be human and how to ascend, and then to, you know, be the path forgers for those who are ready. And now humanity is ready. We're going to do this together. There's great progress being made, but we need to do this as a team. We need to partner. We need to work as a whole. You know, we can't build something if everybody continues to fight amongst themselves. We need to unite. We need to break down the borders. We need to break down the racial stigma, the sexuality stigma, the whatever, any barriers, any boundaries, they need to be broken down so that we can unite as one, as a whole, as a collective, because that's what makes us powerful. There's strength in numbers. This has been drilled into our heads, and it's coming back now because we need to remember and we need to utilize our power as a whole. Because the time is now, and the time for confusion is over. No more procrastinating. Your power comes from making this decision. Confusion that arises from overanalyzing the options. So we need to get clear about what reality we want. We need to agree. We need to stop bickering. We need to stop fighting amongst ourselves because we are not making progress that way. We are destructive that way. You know, we need to stop thinking just for ourselves. We need to start thinking for the collective. What's going to be good for humanity? What's going to be good for the earth? What's going to be good for the animals and the air and the ground and everything? You know, we got to stop being so selfish. All of us, myself included. We are all equal. We're very different. We're all very different for a reason, but we're very equal. So no more procrastinating. It's time to make the choice. What reality do you want? Anchor that in and then share that with others. As long as it's of a loving vibration, you're good to go. Keep it high vibrational, you guys, because this is where we're moving forward. We are the alchemists. We are the students. There. We create our reality. We take the lead and turn it into gold. We take matter and create with it. You create your reality. You create your physical health. You help to co-create the reality of this planet, this galaxy, this solar system, this universe. And we're students. We're constantly learning. And students ultimately become masters. We're training, we're learning, we're using our abilities of alchemy to create. And through that creation, we're learning, we're studying. What was the effect of this? What did it do? How could I do it better the next time? There's no such thing as failure. There's no such thing as mistakes. There is only learning. You are learning and you are growing constantly and infinitely. There's no end to learning. So with alchemy, we've got humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. And for student. And for alchemy, we've got transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. So that is a lot of what I wanted to, most of what I wanted to say. I think I'm going to pull, as I usually do, one crystal oracle card for the collective ascension, please. One crystal oracle card for the collective ascension of humanity. Presley Bluestone. Okay, I've never gotten this one before. Let's see. 33. I love that. 33 is Ascended Masters. Creation and 33. Presley Bluestone. Make sure you guys can see that. There we go. The inner compass. Wasn't I just talking about this in one of my other videos? Yes, I was. Okay, so Presley Bluestones planted healing energies from the land of the ancestors into a sacred healing landscape. This stone accesses past, present, and future. You are an ancient shaman who has much wisdom to impart and the ability to journey through multiple dimensions in search of healing. You have unshakable core stability and an inner compass that directs you with integrity. Use natural medicine for ailments. Pay attention to your boundaries. Dig deep into the past. Access your memories and cut yourself free. Examine your deepest intentions and roots. Live in the present moment. Find your own direction and face challenges with equanimity. You have power to decide. Pay particular attention to your environment. And the healing insight is being true to yourself is the basis of all well-being, spiritual and physical. So this is what I was talking about the other day in one of my, I think it was the Divine Masculine video, is about finding your inner compass, finding your inner integrity, your inner intuition, your higher self, your connection to your God self, because that will never steer you wrong, and that is your inner truth. And you will know what your inner truth is based on its vibrational resonance, based on its frequency. And that's why I say to you guys, if these readings don't resonate with you at this time, then it's not resonating with your inner truth, which affects your physical bubble of reality, right? So if we're living in two separate bubbles of reality and it doesn't resonate, then that's okay. You know, we're all learning and we're growing and we're creating different realities. And ultimately, we're going to eventually come together as a whole into this one higher reality. We're each going to have still our individual little differences, but overall our frequencies are going to start to match up. You know, it's not going to be so discordant and dysfunctional. It's not going to be this cacophony of noise. It's going to be more of a symphony. You know, it's like we're going from like second graders learning to play the recorder to, you know, the great symphony orchestra. We're learning, we're growing, we're all going to learn to play our different instruments together and create a harmony of beautiful music, which is going to fill the earth and heal the earth, because sound and frequency and light, it's all frequency. Energy, it's all frequency. It's all vibration. Ultimately, everything is just vibration. So I'm going to close it out with that. I just wanted to share that with you guys. I love you. I thank you. Please share this if it resonated with you, or if you know somebody that it will resonate with, because again, like I said previously, we need to get this information out to the collective, because we're going through this massive change now and we're doing it together. So the more of us who can get on similar frequencies, we can help to lift up the whole into this peace, into this love, into this inner knowing, and into ultimately love, unconditional love. And again, as always, forever and infinitely, I love you guys unconditionally. I love you, love you, love you. Okay, bye.